truck getting unloaded right now. And the reason I show you is because I want you to see this is literally everywhere I go. I start walking away from the truck, and no more than 2 minutes into my walk, there's more plasma fire. Now I'm going to show you a couple of spots here, but it just gets more and more. We'll wait on that one. So this is everywhere I go, from Montana to Idaho to Utah to Wyoming, and it's everywhere you go too, but the question is, why am I the only one showing you? So let's start with this one. Okay, the sun's at a bad angle for that. How about we go right here? Not getting the best shot, but there you go. You can see how it's burnt on the inside here and not on the outside on the left. Likewise, here, burnt on the inside, unburnt on the outside. Here is one of those spot fires. Right there is where it came through. And that's just one spot. I'm going to show you a whole bunch, so by the end it won't be like, well, I'm not sure, maybe that was just dried out from the sun. Focus isn't helping here, but you can see it's black here and not black there. We'll just keep walking here, and I'm going to show you it's everywhere. And the other thing I'm going to show you is all the dry weeds are still standing. Black on the inside. Focus ain't working, but this one is black here, unburned here. Likewise there. We'll wait till we get some where the sun gives us a good shot, because there's more up here. Every one of these pieces, every single one of them. Look at this one. As this stick curves around, it's burnt on this side, unburnt on the other side. There we go, focus seemed to help. And I'll just break this one off, or just curl around the back. You can see that it's unburnt on the back side. So literally, the fire goes up and curls around with the piece of wood. You'll see more just like this. Mas focus. There we go. So this one's burnt on that underside, unburnt on the back side here. So here's the other question. Here's one where it curves around with the wood. You can see the burn line in the middle here. Burned in the middle, unburned on this side and that side. This one I might take back just to go show those guys. Say, hey, you want to know what plasma fire is? This is plasma fire. It literally travels up this side of the wood and then curves and curls with the wood. As the wood corkscrews, it stays on one side of the wood. Yeah, we'll take that one back. You can see what I'm talking about. Anyway, onward. Let's go find some more plasma fires. So, question is, why do I see this everywhere I go? And why am I the only one? Here's more corkscrew wood. I'll just leave it the way I found it for a second, but you can see how it spirals. And now I'll pick it up. See if we can get a better focus. You see how it's burnt on one side, not the other, and that side that it's burnt on spins around. So it literally switches sides. It's burnt on one side, and then the other. And the side on which it's burnt continues to change. So here's two of the corkscrew pieces. Have to save those for if the guy's back there unloading my truck saying, "What you doing?" "Oh, I'm just looking at the plasma fires." You know, plasma fires? No, what are you talking about? Plasma what? Fires. So this one, it's burnt on this side. Focus may or may not work with us here. You can see it's burnt on that, unburnt on that side, and you can't see the burned side because the sun's in on our eyes. So this one, you can see it burned here and it broke right there, but I'm going to prop this back up the way it was. Now you can see the underside is burned here. If it would help, there we go, maybe. Bring in the focus, and it stops right here at this joint. Right here where my hand is. There we go. Between focus and shadow, I'm not getting very good footage here, but for people that have seen these plasma fires, you don't need reconvinced for the 50th time. I'm just showing you, it's everywhere I go. I can't walk 1 minute away from the truck. And this one, if you noticed, see if we can maybe turn the light on here. Shine down in there. It's burnt on the inside. It's not going to focus very well, but my point is it's burnt on the inside. See where it's hollowed out right here? It burnt the inside of this log right here where it splits into 1, 2, 3, or 4 different pieces. Let's go see. All the tips on each one of these. See the tips? Here, here. These tips. Focus and shadow again makes it hard to see what it is that I'm trying to show you, but if you've seen it before, it's like women. You seen one, you seen them all. You seen one plasma fire, you seen them all. And my point is not to show you, ooh, look, plasma fire. My point is it's everywhere. Yeah. This one, burnt on the inside. As it curlicues around, it's burnt on this side, unburnt on that side. There we go. And with any luck, the focus will, there we go. Now you can see the burn side is burned. It's not just shadowed, because shadows have been messing with me this whole video. There we go. You can see how the burn side literally follows one edge of the wood round in a corkscrew. And so it changes side from the top to the bottom, back to the top, as it corkscrews through the wood that was standing about like that, I guess. Why am I the only one that sees this? Why is this everywhere I go, but no one else is talking about it? Well, I told you yesterday, no governor or legislator is going to be able to do anything about it. Thus, you're not going to hear anything about it because they can't tax the people, create the problem, reaction solution, Hegelian dialectic. They can't take this problem and supply a solution which would further their agenda, which is take away your freedoms and tax you, because they have no possible solution they could implement. But why are the regular people not seeing this? That's cognitive dissonance, willful ignorance, our capacity and ability to ignore what we don't want to see. So we believe what we want to believe, and we hear what we want to hear, and we see what we want to see, and everything else goes right out the window. Well, this is an everything else that goes right out the window with everybody. I could take this back to those construction workers, show them and tell them what's going on. They could take a look and guaranteed they'd go home, crack a beer, and say nothing about it to their wife or kids or any of the other co-workers, the boss, or anyone else. Why? Because it is so disturbing and it is so outside their Overton window of what's possible and impossible, real and not real, that they don't like the discomfort. They lose mental plasticity as you grow older. Your brain is not as flexible. It doesn't have plasticity. Well, this requires a little bit of flexibility. It requires a person who enjoys the question and doesn't demand, oh, I need a solution. Where's the answer? Give it to me now. A person who enjoys the question can indulge in this kind of stuff and go, wow, I don't need the answer, just the question is so tasty. Most people don't enjoy the question. Look at this one. See how it's unburnt here? This whole thing, I knew shadow wouldn't help me much. Anyway, it's burnt. Yep. On the inside, not on the outside. That is how you like your hot dogs, nice and cooked on the inside, not so cooked on the outside. Not necessarily your sagebrush. And there's the other question. Why is there so much dry leaves, dry weeds around this wood that clearly burned at a hot enough temperature? It turned some of the wood charcoal and left the other part of it untouched. The answer? Plasma. And it's not so hard to spot that you gotta be a plasmologist to know what you're looking at. You just gotta be curious enough to give a fuck. And most people aren't. So when they experience the consequence of their inaction, because it's about like the pedophilia and everything else. People are so self-involved and self-centered and self-absorbed. They don't know, they don't care, it doesn't matter to them. And so when the consequences of that I don't know, I don't care come knocking at your door and burn your house down from the inside out, don't feel bad for yourself. You didn't care enough to give a shit about anyone else when it was burning down everyone else's house. First they came for the Jews, but I wasn't a Jew. Then they came with the plasma fires, but I don't believe in plasma fires. Then they came for the conspiracy theorists, but I'm not a conspiracy theorist, so I said nothing. And I went back about my day and focused my attention on things that matter to me. Well, when these things that don't matter to you are the only thing that matter, like the people whose houses burned down in paradise and the rest of the country who went about their business as if it never happened, you got to admit they kind of deserve what's coming to them. See what I'm saying? Reap what you sow. And if you sow ignorance and apathy and indifference, then when you reap what you sow, apathy and indifference will be shown to you. And no one will give a shit about your plight either. So while the world burns down around you, and everyone pretends they don't see, because guaranteed, I'm not the only one that can see this, I'm just the only one that notices enough to say something and is willing enough to question it and raise the issue. Everyone else? That would be uncomfortable. That's too disturbing. Yeah, that requires a little bit of flexibility in my frame of mind, and I like to think I got it all figured out. That raises questions I can't answer, so I'm just gonna leave that for the conspiracy theorists, then make fun of them when they talk about it. Yeah, that'll make me feel better. Well, good luck to you. This is everywhere I go. All of these branches, let's go check out some of these bigger ones. All of these have the same pattern. Burnt here, unburnt here. You can see all the burn here and the unburn here. Every one of these sticks, that one, all these, every single one of them, same burn pattern. Every state that I go to, every city I go through. Yet you don't hear anyone else talking about it. And yeah, it's a little bit disturbing and it kind of pisses me off. People's apathy and indifference is going to lead to their own demise. And what did Jesus say? They perish for lack of knowledge. Well, they kind of deserve it because they had the opportunity, but they didn't want the knowledge. They wanted the comfort of blissful ignorance. Well, when that blissful ignorance leads to your demise and you perish for lack of knowledge, don't blame me for not feeling bad for you. If I engage in apathy and indifference when it's your house on fire, Well then, reap as you sow. Anyway, my point is every single one of these bushes is the same. I can see that the focus on my phone is not doing it justice, and it's very difficult to see. So I kind of have to point to the black spots. While trying to dodge the shadows. But anyone who's curious enough to rub two brain cells together and go, why is there all this burnt spots on all of the sagebrush, yet all of the weeds are still here? Wouldn't the weeds burn before the wood? Why am I the only one curious enough to rub two brain cells together and ask that question? It takes courage, not intellect. A lot of people say, oh, I'm just not that smart. I'm simple-minded. I'm into peace and harmony. No, you're into blissful ignorance. And when it comes back around to bite you in the ass, you'll get what you deserve. See again the, The sun is not helping. Eventually I'll wrangle this fucker around enough to where you can see just how much. There we go. You can see once you're looking with your eyes, not through a camera with the glare and the shadows and all the rest. It's very easy to see. That's not hard to see. And that's what's kind of pissing me off, is with the glare and the shadows, it makes it look like it's difficult to see and you gotta look real hard. No, you don't. It's right in front of your face. Why is no one talking about it? Why does no one care enough to say anything? Well, the opposite of good is not evil. The opposite of good is apathy and indifference. And everyone who sees no evil, well, that's because they have become the evil of apathy and indifference. It's not here, it's not there, it's everywhere I go, and I guarantee it's everywhere you go too. I'm no one special. And it's every one of these sagebrush. Come on, phone, fucking help a little bit here. There we go. That one, that one, that one, that one, that one. All of them have the same burn patterns on them. How many of these houses do you think noticed? That one. That one? Nope, nope. 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 Think anyone knows or gives a shit? Nope.